Well. I think we're back with this one. Everything seems to be working fine. Arsenal, what have you done? Arteta, what have you done? Arsenal fans, you guys backed your manager throughout, the season, over the past two seasons, in picking party. Every single game. Every single, unless he's injured. What have you done? I remember when that first girl came out on Twitter, everyone chased her, got her account deactivated. Everyone came for her. I remember the first girl when she came back from Spain and she released those allegations and told us everything about what happened in Spain. How the police refused to take the to arrest Partey because it happened offshore or whatever the statutory time, whatever you want to call it. That girl got mad abuse, bro, from Arsenal fans, right? Calling her all type of names, all sort of names she was called. He said she was after money, blah blah blah. By the way, let's. I know I'm a United fan. This is a different case to Missing Greenwood. If you're trying to come back with all that, but you've got a player that that got done for you as well. It's it's totally different case, right? Party, it's not just one girl now. It's three people, three women coming forward, three women coming forward now for Thomas Partey. Are you gonna call all those three women liars? Okay, we've seen the one that came out for Mendy. They all lied. But again, how did Arsenal go away with this? Picking him every single game. How did Arteta go away with it? Arteta knew. He must know something was up with this guy. He must know. He must have been made aware of the allegations by the Met Police and the club itself, Arsenal, as a whole. Every single one of them must have known. We knew from outside the club. We knew, you know, like as soon as the girl started speaking on Twitter, it's like she put what she said was, I remember this tweet. I don't have them, but I remember them. She described the old player. Described where he was from. Like he played in Spain. He now plays in the Premier League, and he's a top. He plays for a top club in London. He came from Africa. He's African. He's black. You put two and two together. If you know the demographic of what she was saying there, and she said it was West African, I was like, shoot. So from outside the box, from outside the game itself, when you follow all these players that come from the African nations or the continent, and you put two and two together, and you played in Spain, and straight away we knew it was Partey, we knew it was Arsenal. But again, you have to be careful when you're reporting these things in it because he's not been found guilty yet. He needs to go on. I think he will appear in court on August the 5th. So is he gonna go the same way as Mendy? Are they gonna select a jury of 12 or whatever you want to call it to judge him and judge the case? Are they gonna find out? You know, I don't want to get you know when it comes to cases like this, you need to remove your emotions away from it because now he's gone to court. He's been charged. So forget about your emotional side of your brain. Just go on. By the law, the court of public opinion party is guilty. Mason Greenwood is guilty. Mendy was guilty. Um, Cristiano Ronaldo was guilty. Um, what are the other players you can think of that's been charged? That's the court of public opinion. all of us believe these guys are guilty. But when it comes to the actual law, you need to remove your emotional brain, you know, eject it. Like F-35 pilot getting shot down by a missile. Eject, remove the emotional side of things. Whether I hit the player, whether I hit the club, whether I hit the whole thing, remove it. Think about the court, how it's gonna play out in court. These women, are they gonna be able to stand or give evidence, or because for so long they've suffered, yeah, so long they've suffered. If these allegations are true, they've been put through some 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 tough times since 2022. Well, it's now 2025, going 2026. And if, let's just say, the allegations are true, and can you imagine what they've been going through, what these women have been going through? You don't have to agree with me, you don't have to agree with them, but if these allegations are true, can you imagine what they've been put through over the last 3 years? Whilst Partey was out there living his best life, playing football, doing his job, getting paid millions, right? Maybe probably after the first woman, he went on to commit second woman, and then he went on to commit another one with the third woman. Come on, bro. Yeah. Again, allegations, by the way. These are just allegations. I'm not saying he did it, but accused since 2022. Accusations were there by the first lady, and now found out there's two more. Who knows? There might be more than two. There might be more than two women, more than three. So now we've got three girls, three women, whichever you want to look at. Um, what is wrong with these guys, man? And I tell you what, I always say this. I always say this. I'm a big, I'm a huge advocate when it comes to footballers protecting themselves. I know this because I've seen firsthand in the nightclubs how these girls move in the nightclubs. But then it's not solely on the girls' part. These footballers, they're so thirsty, and the people they surround themselves with, they're so thirsty. They'll pick up any girl for a beat down in the nightclub. I've been around those tables. I've been around. I've seen bottles coming in. I've seen girls moving extra to get to those tables. Right? I don't know what's happened behind closed doors, behind the scenes. You know, but I've seen it, and I know the media, the journalists, the sports journalists. MSN. I know they prey on these young girls out there that comes from you know maybe poor background. When have you ever heard a rich white girl or rich woman accuse these footballers of rape? When have you ever heard the rich white girls or the rich black girls or the rich mixed race girls or the rich Asian girls, whatever you wanna, whichever you wanna look at? When have you ever seen or heard any of them make allegations against these rich footballers, whether it's black or white, or mainly black footballers? When have you ever seen that? I have never witnessed that. I've never seen a rich white girl or a girl that comes from, let's say, a girl that, let's just say, Bosco's daughter, Ryan Giggs' daughter, Danny Dyer's daughter, um, Gary Neville's daughter. When, and they all date black guys, by the way. These guys, these girls, they all fuck around with black guys. I'm sorry about the language, but they all mess around with black guys. But you've never heard any allegations come from these rich white girls against black footballers ever. And whenever I look at the cases that's come out, and this is where I always question everything, because from what I've seen in the nightclubs, it's always the broke white girls, right, who's been preyed on by these journalists to go after these footballers because they give these girls the venue where these footballers gonna go. For whatever reason, this they managed to get hold of, their movement. They got in, they got Morley in there that tells them, oh look, Rashford is heading to this nightclub tonight, or this person is going elsewhere tonight. They go after these white girls, um, not so well off white girls, send them into these nightclubs, get through the back doors. I can tell you now, there's so many back doors in any of every single one of these nightclubs, especially in Manchester. So they'll send these girls to these nightclubs, and they'll go straight to the table, or they'll walk their way, find their way through over to that table, make sure that they lock ties with whoever is there, and then they will sell you know the information later on to the paper or whoever, the journalist that give them the tip to go there. And if the footballer refuse to give them whatever they ask for, they'll try and blackmail them. I'm not saying that's what's happening in this case, by the way. I'm not saying that's what's happened, because it looks like this happened somewhere in Spain, but it could happen anywhere. So for me, as much as I'm against, people like Partey, if he's guilty, right? I'm also against these women that goes out there deliberately targeting these guys to ruin them. This journalist wants to get hold of these players, wants to control these players. It's almost like the Diddy trial, because Diddy will do things to control these people. So you got this journalist like in Manchester Evening News, whatever you want to call them. Whenever they report about certain players, because they refuse to give them access to them, you can see the message, the details in the reporting. You can just tell, why the fuck are you so biased? Why are you so angry at this footballer? What did he do to you? What did he do? You know, and we've seen it time and time again that that's what's happening. These players, majority of them, being targeted by the press, the media, and the lawyers. The lawyers will work with the press, find a vulnerable footballer, target them, and blackmail them to cough up millions. As we noticed in the case of Mendy, we never found out who sent these girls to these footballers. Did we? No, we've not found out. We don't know. But what we know is every single one of these girls that came out, many of them were they 10, 13. They had a group chat talking about which footballer they're targeting, which footballer is gonna get them pregnant, which footballer they're gonna ruin for the night. There was a group chat. Disgusting. But Partey, bro. We been knew. We knew that. Well, I'm not saying we knew that I did it, but when the allegation came out, we knew they were referring to Thomas Partey, you know. And now that the Met Police has finally charged him, again, it raises eyebrows, it raises questions, it pulls out all sort of things to say, why now? He refused to sign a contract with Arsenal, then all of a sudden you're charging him. So this is the only thing I'm questioning. Why? So as Teta hung him up to dry, Teta tried to blackmail him to sign a new contract for less, because the Partey has apparently asked for more money from Arsenal and said, pay me what I'm worth, or I'll walk. And his agent Obviously, it's not helped the situation. Um, the agent said, "Nah, we're working," and Arsenal refused to pay Partey because they thought, okay, after all we've done for you, right, you're not gonna sign for us, and they need Partey. Honestly, Arsenal need Partey. They need they need a serious experience um, midfielder. So letting him go is gonna hurt this club a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna find out eventually when everything comes up that Partey's role at Arsenal is what Arsenal needed to win the league. Because the replacement they've signed is not gonna do it. It's not gonna do the job for them. It's not enough. So what's next for Partey? Is he getting arrested? Is he gonna get locked up until the fifth, like they did Mendy, or is he out of the country? Bro, the world is nasty. The world is a nasty place, bro. He refused to sign a contract, and now they're making an example of him. If you've got something on you, you've got any debt on you, if you don't vote what we ask you to do, we're gonna fuck you over. Interesting. Why? 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 Why now? Met Police, why now? You know, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Would you actually genuinely sit there and go, oh yeah, this makes perfect sense, right? This is why you don't reply to DMs on social media. I don't care where they come from. I don't care what it is. This is why I don't reply to DMs from the opposite sex that are looking to link up. If I see you on the roads or you see them on the roads, chat to them. Bro, do not reply to DMs. Do not do anything stupid. You know, no one is ever gonna come at you and go, whoa, whoa, I've got that on you. You know what I mean? So if you don't do this, I'm gonna go report you and I'm gonna ruin your life because we've seen that as well. I'm not saying this is what's happening with Party right now. I'm just saying from more historically, we've seen that this case is 9, 10 out of 10 court of public opinion. These guys are guilty. Party is guilty. Mendy was guilty. Mason Greenwood was guilty, and so many of them were guilty. And what's the guy that left Everton? That Sigurdsson. He didn't even get arrested. He didn't even get charged. The guy just disappeared. Where is he playing football now? You know, and all of these guys, yeah, in the court of public opinion on Twitter, on X, these guys will be considered guilty, partly because they're guilty. Rivalry aside, when he goes to court, you need to eject your emotional side of things and just look at how he's going to play in court. One way or the other, yeah, if he's guilty, he'll be found guilty. But you cannot call it. You cannot call in and say, oh, yeah, mm, he's a rapist. No, you cannot say that because, again, the court don't care about your emotional side of brain where you don't think logically, you don't think about anything else. You just think, oh yeah, he's guilty because he's been accused. But some of us remember the allegations, the first one from the girl. You know, I, I must have taken a screenshot of that when they came out, because I remember some other allegation that came out about a Liverpool player. What's his name? I don't know if you guys remember this as well. Um, some black girl accused a Liverpool player. Oh, what's his name, man? Yeah, is it Senegalese player? She accused him of rape, right? Twitter dragged this girl away from social media. And I can tell you one thing. I can tell you one thing for sure. When it comes to accusations like that, it's very hard for black women to come forward and make them against certain black men. It's very difficult for black women to do that. Because first of all, it's very hard to believe them straight up. That's a fact. In the black community will tell you, what were you doing there? Those are the questions we ask. You know, why did you go there? Did I ask you to come? So the blame will all go back to the woman. They'll say, oh no, it's not rape. Yeah. And when I see a black woman comes forward and make those sort of accusations, I always go, yeah, that to happen, yeah, there must be some amount of truth in there, because it's difficult for them to make to come forward to put their business out there. And one thing about that is everything is always kept on the wrap. But this girl came out and made this accusation. This guy do not no longer plays for Liverpool, by the way. But the accusation happened whilst he was living in Liverpool in one of these big houses over there. So she was there one time and something happened. Something happened. And in the case of Mendy as well, I'm very well aware of Mendy because I knew some people that were moving Mendy, right? These guys were moving mad, right? I used to chill with some of these guys. And there was time I was told that, you get girls, which is normal. Getting girls is normal when if you're out there. But it's even more easy if you're a footballer, right? And I also know these guys used to get these girls for them, drive them over to the mansion and do have parties and do whatever. But these girls were willing to go to these parties. And that's how you know they are targeted. They get sent to go look for these footballers. They get sent to go look for certain people. Um, to extort more so in this mainly case, he tried to extort him because he wasn't guilty. I don't care. I don't care about your emotional side. I don't give a fuck about it because the court said he wasn't guilty. He wasn't guilty. And according to the information that was discovered, the group chat, these women chatting about who the next target will be, who they're trying to ruin, who they're gonna get pregnant for, become baby mamas. Yeah, Mandy was not guilty. So I don't care about your emotional side of things. I'm not trying to blame the women either, but because he could have been guilty. But I knew firsthand of people, of Mandy's boys, that were collecting these women outside nightclubs, take them to these parties. I knew that. But they were willingly jumping in these cars to go. As soon as they hear, oh, we gotta have to party, we're going to this footballer's house, they'll jump on. Yeah. But those are the girls that are set up by this journalist, this media, MSN, to target these people, to blackmail these footballers. And I can't lie, there was a time where I used to think about Marcus. I used to think someone is blackmailing him. I used to think the journalist has got some debt on the guy. The way he started playing, the way, because your talent don't disappear just like that. Yeah, I'm a huge Rashford fan, by the way. Um, I used to think, is somebody blackmailing this guy? Has it been done? Has it been caught by? some of these girls and this journalist, and he's refusing to give them info. But now looking back, I'm thinking, yeah, he could have been. But looking back now, I'm looking the way certain, you know, white women are reporting on Rashford, especially the girls on Twitter, on X. It's like Rashford refused to give them access. And you see the way they reporting about Anthony and other players. You can tell Anthony gave them access. Anthony probably got, they probably did something to Anthony anyway. And you all know who I'm talking about, by the way. And he works for that Goldbridge guy. Um, but I used to think somebody was trying to blackmail him. Sancho is just Sancho, he doesn't care about whatever happens. He does his thing. But when it comes to Rashford, because you can see, you can see something was troubling him. And the only thing I can think of, are they blackmailing him? Are they coming after him? You know, and journalists to sit on information for as long as possible until they get everything they want from it, until they suck you dry. That's what would happen. And the propaganda, the PR stuff, all of that. Rashford went quiet and a lot of things. Stopped talking about charity stuff, and you can tell he was pressed. But I'm not saying that's still the case because for all we know, all my charges gone. Let me switch it quick. It's all happening now. It's all happening. It's all going off. Bro, I'm saying Ateta. Now, does it make sense why Edu left Arsenal? Edu decided to leave Arsenal for some reason. He left. Does it make sense to you now? Are you putting two and two together? Because it looks like he must have stopped supporting Arteta's decision to keep this guy, or whatever's happening there. Oh, it's going wrong. Going wrong. I remember United. I know we all missing room because I can still say and tell you I still want him to play for United. You know, because again, if it was just a first mistake, I won't call it a mistake, but stupid act he did towards his girlfriend. Allegedly, towards his girlfriend, and the girl forgave him. Now both married, have two kids, and there's nobody else has come forward to say Mason Greenwood has beat me up, you know, tried to rape me or assaulted me. And this is what I'm saying, that these two cases are different. whether you like it or not, remove your emotional side of the brain and just think logic. Stick with logic. Just use a bit of logic. Go, this is at the court. This is how it's going to play out in court. We've seen this week. Diddy was not guilty on the serious charges. He wasn't found guilty. He was found guilty on lesser charges. And that's how things plays out in court. But between me and you, outside of the court, just looking, just being because of the agenda we have, because of how much we hate this person, how much we dislike them, or how jealous of us, how all of that plays out of court. And that's how people get judged. You know, people like Partey. Because first of all, he played for a rival club. I'm gonna dislike him for that. Um, I'm gonna dislike him for the alleged crime as well. Um, with that, I'm just gonna look and go, oh yeah, he's guilty. That's how it plays out, out of court. But in court, it's different. You could walk free, but you could be free from court, but you can never be free from these people outside. You know, I'll call them all type of names like Mendy. Mendy was a top defender, bro. And since then, the allegations and everything, even though he wasn't found guilty, where is he playing now? I don't even know. Where does he play, Mendy? Anyone know? But Mason Greenwood was lucky enough, maybe because of his age, because of the talent he's got. He was lucky enough to say, okay, shipped out to Spain, come back, shipped out to Marseille, where he's done so well, and now he's looking for a bigger move. It could be getting a bigger move, or he might still stay in France. And why not? Why not? But Ateta is complacent. Ateta is a nasty human being. If he knew about these allegations and he's continued to play Partey, and you Arsenal fans, I've got a meme for you guys actually. I've got a meme for Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans, that's it. Arsenal fans, that's it. that's my meme of the day. I think I should actually just put it as my background here now. Um, but you Arsenal fans, oh my days, absolute disgraceful. We were telling you guys we're calling this, and you guys were having a go at us. You know, former Arsenal defender Partey charged with rape. Let's go through the allegations, right? Let's go through what I found. So basically, I'll be right back. Let me go do something quickly. I'll be right back. Or so you can pause and read. Pause and read if you need to.
They got your man's on sex assault charges. Yeah, the nigga you be hanging with. The nigga you be hanging with. Oh, yeah, sex offender. And he was your man's. He was your boy. How you grew up with him? That's crazy, man. You ain't know what he was doing? You ain't feel bad at all? Like no guilt, none of that shit fuck with you? Cause your man's his whole ass. Never, you know. That's Kales. That's your man. Kales. Bump and grind. Hey, I'm gonna get with you, nigga. They got your man's on sex assault charges. Yeah, the nigga you be hanging with. The nigga you be hanging with.
I've got to run this back.
Oh, yeah. They got your man's on sex assault charges. Yeah, the nigga you be hanging with. The nigga you be hanging with. Oh, yeah, sex offender. And he was your man's. He was your boy. How you grew up with him? That's crazy, man. You ain't know what he was doing? You ain't feel bad at all? Like no guilt, none of that shit fuck with you? Cause your man's his whole ass. Never, you know. That's Kales. That's your man. Kales. Bump and grind. Hey, I'm gonna get with you, nigga.
I'm not laughing at it. Bro, Partey, bro. What are we going to do? What, Arsenal fans? What have you got to say for yourself? Because we've been telling you for 2 years now, you playing someone that could potentially go to prison or get done for rape, right? And before that, it was only one woman. We knew about this woman that came out on Twitter, was tweeting about it before it became X. So we knew about that woman before even Elon Musk got the platform, I think. Um, she told a whole lot of stories about what happened in Spain, what happened during their interaction, what happened during text messaging, what happened how they finally linked up, and what happened during that time whilst they were there. And when she reported it to the authorities and they failed to arrest the guy, she came back to the UK, reported it to the UK authorities. They failed to arrest the guy because it was apparently outside of their jurisdiction. I've never heard anything like that, but it could be a thing. Or the time of the assault when it did happen, when the crime did happen, it was out, outside of that period. They couldn't arrest him because she should have reported immediately or something like that. The time scale or the time frame of the whole issue, and that blew my mind. Like I didn't know something like that existed. But then when you think about it, those rules can be overlooked when in terms of who committed a crime. You know what I mean? Like when she said it, the Met Police refused to arrest Partey, refused to drag the guy out of Arsenal, and Arsenal continued to pick this player. Arteta continued to pick Partey to play European football, Premier League football, whatever you want to call it. What did he expect? You know, how did they manage to get away with it for so long? The Premier League must have been made aware of this situation, but obviously they got to be careful on how to deal with it. Arsenal Football Club. Now I'm questioning why Edu left. We need to hear from Edu. What did he know about this case? Until this new director of football came in, everything was was allowed. Everything was kosher with these guys. You know, Partey kept continued to live his life. But can you imagine if these allegations are true? If he's found guilty, first of all, I'm not saying it's true. But if he was to be found guilty, can you imagine what this woman has been through? They've gone through over the past couple of years. Now it's 3 women. He went from 1 to 3, and that's how they get you. If it's just 1, you can argue it. But now the pattern is there. Now it's all 3 women. But then again, let's not forget, we've seen something during the Mendy trial when women came out, more than 5, 6 women came out and made these allegations against Mendy. and they found out they had a group chat where they were communicate with each other, where they were trying to set up these footballers, where they're going after who's going to get them pregnant, who the next target is, who the next victim was. So that tells me they colliding with the journalist, some journalists and some, you know, lawyers that will get them the big paycheck. And even with some police officers, you know, because they will know where these women are during the night, right? These footballers even get pulled over during the night when these crimes are being committed. You know, when these crimes are being committed, these footballers will be pulled over on the same night. Because when you look at the report, when you actually go in and read the report, they'll tell you, I was stopped by a police officer on this night. They let us go. Everything was fine. So that tells me they collided with some certain corrupt police officers, certain corrupt members of the press, certain corrupt members of the law. These lawyers are not innocent in all these allegations because these girls go to nightclubs, target these footballers, and these footballers be stupid, and the girls will know exactly what to do when they say no, and they continue to do whatever they shouldn't do to these women as soon as they say no. They continue doing that, and that's how they get them. That's how they get players like Partey. That's how they get players like a lot of them. And this is a different case to Missing Greenwood. Let's not make that the same. It's not the same case. This is a similar case to Mendy. Mendy's case, similar, almost the same, you know. And we're gonna see this play out in court, and maybe it could work. We've seen Diddy worked because he's got the money to do that. He's got the money to dig up more information about these women. He's got this money to pay out and find out if this woman has done anything like this with other men in the past, right? I'm not saying they're lying at all. It's three women all together coming out. It was the first one, not the second, not the third. Absolutely. There's no smoke without fire. But I got to remove myself from the emotional side of things and look at how it plays out in court. In court, I'm gonna have to wait until after you know, the trial on the 5th of August. That's when it starts. They got to select. It's gonna take longer. It might take a year. It might take years. They might even appeal it if you get found guilty. Or they might dig something out from these women and find out these women targeted him or told lies. You know, and all of these things could play out in court, or they might actually find out even they might pull out more debt from this guy. He might be the nastiest footballer we've ever witnessed in the Premier League. It could be. I know we've got the Ryan Giggs, you know, we've got the Ronaldos, we've had the Greenwoods, the Mendes, Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson, he's not even charged. He's nowhere to be seen. He left England completely. I think he's playing in Iceland. I think he's playing in Iceland, Sigurdsson. So, for all we know, these guys might, may get away with it again because we know money talks when it comes to the court of law. If you got the money to invest and find out more information about these women, if they've lied before, if they've been in a situation like this, if they always find themselves in the same area, the same spot as these men, party could work. For all we know, these are allegations. But when that woman came out the first time, she got bashed on Twitter, right? She deactivated her account straight away. And it's the same thing about that footballer, that Liverpool footballer. I forgot the name. I'll find the name. That got. He's no longer. He's no longer playing the Premier League. He's gone somewhere in France. He got allegedly. He did the same thing to some women during his time at Liverpool, and then he left the Premier League. And nobody believed that woman when she said it, and then she got run over, or she got pushed to leave X. Let me see if I can find his name. Let's have a look if I can pull the name. So we've got African footballers that play for Liverpool. No, that's not the full list, man. It can't be. Yes, I found him. So the other guy that got accused of, you know, the similar allegations that used to play for Liverpool was Naby Keita. Do you guys remember when this girl came out on Twitter? They accused him of the same allegations, but this guy never got arrested. Never, the police never looked into it. I don't know if they believe the girl or not. And they let him go, and now he's no longer in the Premier League. Would they be able to bring him back? If this case might just trigger these guys. You know what I mean? I'm not even joking. Let me see if I can find this girl on Twitter. I think she left. She had to leave. Oh, Kyle Walker to Burnley. Wow, that's a drop off. Matt went for Man City. Okay, let's see if I can find this guy, man. I'm looking for this girl that you know that accused Naby Keita of the same allegations that currently Thomas Partey just finding out about now. Navigator, man. I remember this. I remember this tweet, man. Let's have a look. Guy got accused of the same accusations. Thomas Partey and Mendy. Yeah, the pattern is kind of there though. The story is all the same. It's similar. Let's have a look. So Navigator, right? This happened in 2020. I remember this. I knew I was right. There's so many threads on X about this. Even the victims of Thomas Partey. Yo, it's crazy. Like there's so many found. Wow. So I remember on X, right? Where's this guy? Yeah, they're stop going around now on X saying Navigator paid off the girl, right, for the girl to stop talking about the rape. Yeah, he was accused of rape in 2020. No member of the press picked it up. You know, Keita was accused of rape. Remember, Ryan Sterling as well was accused of sexual assault. So many of them. So many of them. They even read about it in the press when he came to Keita. So Liverpool, they're just as dirty club as Arsenal, as United. Well, United are the only one that picked it up and say, no, well, forget it. Missing Greenwood, we no longer want you. You have to get out. Even Balotelli was accused. Keita was accused. So let's just go through a list of footballers that have been accused in the past. You know, so we've got the big one. The biggest one is CR7, Ronaldo, Neymar, Frank Ribery, Benzema, De Gea, Eduardo, and Benjamin Mendy. Both of them. I don't know if they're brothers. Um, HDO, Otinodoe, Partey, now joined the group of FC, Prison FC. RVP was accused as well. Robbie Van Persie, don't forget that. Abikator, as I was saying before. Bissouma, remember Bissouma as well, was accused. Missing Greenwood. Again, missing Greenwood's case is different to this and most of these cases, man. But I can tell you that. And when I say that, please do not come for me and go, well, it's rape is rape. The accusations were different to this. Um, Sigurdsson was also in this, is missed out on this list. So there's a whole bunch of footballers that, you know, but Arsenal fans again defensive, again a little bit defensive here. Because nobody is saying otherwise. We all just saying the same thing like, why did Arsenal keep playing this guy? Why did Arteta keep speaking him? Why did Arteta keep playing him? Arsenal fans even said we're bragging about, well, the reason why we didn't beat PSG or whatever is because Partey wasn't playing, or Barcelona or whatever. So we needed, the way they hyped this guy up, they put him up in a pedestal that, you know, you think he was innocent for all of, but we still don't know if he's guilty or not. But now he's been charged. So that label is gonna stay with him forever. No more Premier League contract, and now he's got 5 charges. Oh my god. No Premier League contract. No Premier League contract. And now you've got 5 charges into your name. Sexual assault, rape charges into your name. 5. Let's just look at it. This is what the Met said, right? This is the headline from the Met. Thomas Partey charged with rape by Metropolitan Police Service. The Crown Prosecution Service has authorised the Metropolitan Police Service to charge a man after a file of evidence was submitted by detectives. Bro, you dumb, you know? The Crown Prosecution Service has authorized the Metropolitan Police Service to charge a man um, after a file of evidence was submitted by detectives. The Met has issued a charge and requisition to Thomas Partey, 32, right, 13/06/1993, of Hertfordshire, in connection with the following offences: 5 counts of rape, 1 count of sexual assault. So let's break it down for you. Let's break it down. Right. The charges are, right, 5 counts of rape, 1 count of sexual assault. So what does that entail? So within that, you've got 2 counts of rape related to one woman. So I'm only gonna assume that was the first woman. If you think about it, the one that came out the first time, the one that got dragged on Twitter. So I will only assume that was the first woman, right? 2 counts of rape relate to one woman. 3 counts of rape relate to a second woman. Number two. Number two. 1 count of sexual assault relates to a third woman. Man went for hat trick. He went for hat trick. Couldn't bag a hat trick on the pitch, but bag himself a hat trick of case. You know, he couldn't bag a hat trick on the pitch. He bagged himself one off the pitch. Horrible, disgusting. If he's found guilty. So those are the charges broken down for the there. Yeah, that's a quick breakdown of them. The offences, I would say, offences were are reported to have taken place between 2021 and 2022. Those offences were reported back then in 2021 and 2022. But that's a long time, for police to. You mean to tell me all 3 women, right, when they reported it, was it enough? The first one wasn't enough to charge him. The second one wasn't enough to charge him. The third one wasn't enough to charge him. What changed? What's happened? He refused to sign a contract as Arsenal, and now all of a sudden, let's charge him. I'm not arguing for him. I'm not making a case for him. But they didn't charge him for the first woman. She reported it. They didn't charge him for the second woman. She reported it. They didn't charge him for the third woman until he left Arsenal. He got the charge. Until he left Arsenal, the brother got done. The offences are reported to have been taking place between 2021 and 2022, right? The charges follow an investigation by detectives which commenced in February 2022 after police first received a report of rape. In 2022, that was the first report when that first woman came forward and reported the rape in 2022. So since then, we've had 3 seasons, but the offences started in 2021, by the way, 2021. So 2025, we decided to charge him. Is he again arrested? Who knows? But he's appearing in court on the 5th. So let's see what happens. So the first case the first woman came forward in 2022. That wasn't enough. Detective Superintendent Andy Forfey, whose team is leading the investigation, said our priority remains providing support to the women who have come forward. These women came forward to you guys since 2021, 2022. Where have you been? What's taking you so long? What stopped you from arresting him? What stopped you from bringing these charges forward? And this is why women say they don't feel safe in Europe, in this country. This is why women don't feel safe. Because how can you report a case like that in 2022, 3 years on, only when he left a top club in the Premier League, you decide to arrest him or you decide to charge him? So the first woman, by the way, I think tried to, you know, off herself. I remember when she was getting bullied online. I think her final tweets were very, very disturbing when she was tweeting. And to me, I was thinking, is she going to do it? Hopefully, she's still here. Hopefully, but I remember when she was tweeting those things, she was really struggling at the time when she was getting bullied online by everyone. Um, but I hope she's still with us. I hope she get a day in court. I hope she got herself to answer that she wants really. And if he's guilty, he'll be found guilty and he'll be made to pay. Um, Not just agree a settlement, because if it's a settlement that you want, he's got the money to pay to make you go away. So if you ask for 15 million, he's probably got it for damages and everything. He's probably got it. But if you want him to go to jail, so don't ask for money, let him go to jail. You know. Okay. We would ask anyone who has been impacted by this case, or anyone who has information, to speak with our team. You can contact detectives about the investigation by email: cit@met.police.uk, cit@met.police.uk. So if you've got any more information around this case, please, you can step forward and report it and deliver whatever you need to deliver to the police. Thomas Partey will appear at Westminster Magistrate Court on Tuesday, 5th of August. Support is available by contacting the independent charity Rape Crisis at 24/7 Rape and Sexual Abuse Support Line. So feel free to use those lines as well. We urge responsible reporting in line with guidance from Attorney General's office. Again, this is what I said, you need to be careful how you report these kind of things. Now that I'm sitting here talking about this online, I've got to be really careful. I've got to remove the emotional side of my brain, eject it, forget about it. That as if this is a court case now, you cannot just say anything about it to jeopardize the case itself. You got to report it as as it's showing here, because whatever information you give up now could cause mayhem in that case. So again, I'm not gonna say the man is guilty until the court found him guilty or not guilty, because the last time people you know court of public opinion did that against Mendy, his life was ruined and he wasn't found guilty. And Man City tried to fleece him for 11 million they owed him. They didn't pay him his salary whilst he was in court. So they assume he was guilty. They assume he was never going to come out. They assume the worst for him. And this is your player. There was no support for him. But again, I can't blame Man City for that, because that's the court of public opinion. If they didn't do that, the fans will call, go crazy. Missing Greenwood, United continue to pay him. That's the difference between them. So United continue to pay Missing Greenwood up to the point where they said, okay, we dropped the case, and United said we still cannot come back. We have to part ways. But mainly they tried to fleece him. He had a day score. He's not guilty, so we're gonna leave it at that. And it's the same thing now. You got look at this case. Do not go out there and start saying he's guilty, he's guilty, he's guilty. Wait for the court case. If he's nastier than PD, they will find out in court. There's a lot of information gonna come out. His phone has been taken away from him. The girl's phone has been taken away from them. If they find anything, because these lawyers are good at finding out stuff, so he's gonna get the top lawyers. So this will be a case between the king versus defendant. So the burden of proof will be on the prosecution, right? I believe, yeah. The burden will be placed on the king's side to prove that he did it. So they have to bring all the evidence forward to prove that this is what happened. And then the defendant will go in and say, well, you said this, you said that, you said that. You've done this before. you've tried to do this before. You try to ask somebody for money. You try to, you've got a group chat where you discuss this thing that you're gonna go for him. You're gonna find him, and you're gonna accuse him. You're gonna find out all a bunch of things. During these cases, man, it's horrible in court. It's horrible. Um, it's a shame in the UK they don't play this for us to see on TV on live. Because in America they put these cases on TV. You can see them what's going on. You can tell when someone trying to use the system. Um, but it's madness, bro. What's next for Partey then? Because now he's got no contract, and the season just ended. He gave up his contract to Arsenal. You think Arsenal? I think Arsenal have done him dirty, man. He refused to sign for them, and they call the police. Yeah, get him. Don't let him leave the country. Arrest him. There's no way Arsenal will be. Their PR team must be on top to be able to clean this mess because everyone on social media now is calling Ateta a rapist enabler. He enabled Partey to play football, live his life. It's normal, whilst these other women were suffering. So Partey as a whole, Ateta as a whole, Arsenal as a whole, they're a bunch of enablers. And don't forget the Met Police as well. You know, they put a nice statement out there, trying to polish everything. But we need an explanation as to why actually you couldn't charge him, you know? But anyway, let's see. I think we've got a game going right now. Who's playing now? I think we've got 8 o'clock. Yeah, in 15 minutes. I don't know if I'll be able to stream this game. But here we are. This is about to be a really good game, Ali. I cannot miss this game. Let's see if I'll be able to stream it. But here we are. Guys, thank you for watching. Partey, I'm not gonna say he's guilty. I'm not gonna say he's not guilty. I'm gonna wait until this plays out in court. If he's disgusting, if he's a disgusting piece of shit human being, the court will find out. But we've seen it. We've done it before, where we assume Mendy was guilty, other footballers were guilty, other people were guilty. In the court of public opinion, we know every single one of them are guilty, but in court, that's not how it works. So I'm gonna wait until the court case is finished where it starts on the 5th. That's when it'll appear. He'll probably plead not guilty on the 5th, and they will have to go through a process again of selecting jurors to judge him, to listen to the evidence, to look at the evidence, and then they'll make a decision and call him out if he's guilty or not guilty. This could take another year during this process. This one will have to go through it all over. They'll have to probably call them stands, call witnesses. Um, they'll find a whole bunch of things gonna come out. So I'm not gonna make a judgment and say Partey was guilty. I'm not gonna make a judgment and say Partey was not guilty. I'm just gonna sit there and follow this case thoroughly. But the question I've got is why now? Why have the Met Police decided to charge him now? Why have they decided to come after him now when this case is started in 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, now it's 2025? Why now? Why now? Right, let's get ready for the Fluminense game versus Al Hilal. That's gonna be one badass game, one good game. Um, I'll see you guys on the next stream. I'm gonna come off this. I'm gonna watch the you know Club World Cup. Let's go, baby. Thomas Partey, and I'm praying for the women, by the way. And if he's a dog out there, please find him guilty. If he's not guilty, we'll move on. But Arsenal, Arteta, Edu, the current chairman, the owners, the fans, Arsenal fans, you are all piece of, you know, you know what? Because you supported this man through and through. You know, while trying to call out other clubs. I know, don't get me wrong. I followed cases like this. I followed Navigator's case in 2020. And he was accused of rape, but he paid the woman off. So no press even picked that up. The woman came on X, called it out. Nobody spoke about Naby Keita until he left Liverpool, and now he's free playing elsewhere. I think in France. We knew about Raheem Sterling got accused. We knew about other players that were accused. A bunch of them. Even RVP got accused. Even I think the only person that was never accused of rape is Wayne Rooney, because he was always going for the grannies. You know the grannies are not gonna accuse you of rape. That's so Wayne Rooney is the only one that's not been accused of that, to be honest, and a lot of them, but most of them just pay off anyway. They just pay off. But if Partey is guilty, please find him guilty. Please do not ask for payout. If you need him to go to court, hold him accountable. Let him go to jail. Let him go to prison. We're sick of people asking for money, settlement. That's why it keeps happening, because these guys are so rich. They can do it. If they know you're just going to ask for money, they just give you the money. It'll be an expensive fucking 2 seconds of their life, but they'll just pay. But if they actually go to jail, go to prison, that's them ruined for the rest of their lives. Then people stop doing it. Footballers will stop raping women, allegedly. They will stop if they actually go to prison, spend years in prison, and come out looking like, because, they don't survive in prison, really. Rapists, they don't. They don't, unless because they've got the money to pay for protection. Yeah, they will pay for protection for the years to come. But we need women to stop asking for payouts. Pay me this or do this. Let the guy go to jail. Let them spend time in jail. Otherwise, they're gonna keep doing it. So let me get ready for the next game. Thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. Um, we'll discuss this. Continue to discuss it. Discuss this further. Or should I just keep this live and change it to? No, I'm gonna stop this live. Actually, allow it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for trying to interact. If you've not, please like the stream before switch it off. Please drop thumbs up for me. Thank you for stopping by. Good luck to the women.